Okay, Corey. Okay. So the reason why I asked about the morality clause, Corey, is because explain to us why we should not pay collection agencies.
One is it goes back, it goes back to I'm smiling because I talked about it, man, so long ago on YouTube when I talked about, first of all, you have no obligation to pay a collection agency because they bought the debt. Number one, they bought it for pennies on the dollar from the original creditor. 9 times out of 10, the original creditor has written the debt off, written the debt off as a bad debt. So they've gotten their money back, and then and a lot of times they may play you. When I talk about playing you, I mean they may 1099 you, meaning when they saying that, hey, it becomes taxable income for you. So now we messing your credit up, and we're gonna make you pay taxes on it. And that boils down to you when we talk about you settling the debt or even negotiating with them, period. But as far as paying them, man, I've been saying it for 20 years. I never pay a collection agent.
Right.
And off the rip, when they approach you, don't run away from them. Deny it.
Right.
Deny
Right.
it. And even if hey, I'm even if it was mine, hey, I don't know anything about it. I've been playing that game.
Right.
Because I'm not, I don't know anything about it.
Right.
And I've always approached them that way. And if they need paperwork, okay, I'm gonna go do a simple identity theft affidavit, attach a letter to it. I'm gonna send it to you. And by law, you got to recall it. The debt got to be recalled and sent back to the original creditor.
Right.
There's law, because by law, you can't continue collection activity on account that may have been established
Through identity fraud.
Yeah, you can't.
Got it.
So, but as far as paying them, like, why?
Right.
Either way, you're gonna be messed up. So the best thing to do, and when I say either way, you're gonna be messed up, I mean, it's almost like cheating on your spouse. They may forgive you, but you did it. Oh, you did. Remember, you did it. Only difference with
and they'll bring it back
collection
up from time to time.
yeah, we're gonna see it. We see it on paper.
Remember?
It's still on paper. Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
And the reason why I asked about the morality piece is because when we get these letters in the mail or these phone calls, people feel they're obligated to cover these collection agencies, and they just don't know that it's already sold by someone else. It's written off, the whole thing. But these collection agencies are making so much money because of information that we don't know. We don't have to pay, but we do have to respond. If we don't respond to them, it's going to be escalated to the next level.
Right.
Right.
You got to always respond.
Got it.
Always respond to them. Like when you get that letter in the mail and they say, unless if you don't acknowledge it within 30 days, we're gonna assume the debt is valid. And a lot of people like don't respond.
Right.
Respond to them. I don't know anything about this.
It's the response. Exactly.
Yeah. And don't feel guilty about it. And I heard people say, well,
what I'm trying to make, yeah.
Yeah, you created the
moral
debt.
call.
I created the debt, so I'm gonna go ahead and pay it. Man, it's just like buying a car. You already been tricked, because it's like even going buying furniture or jewelry, they done marked it up.
Right.
It's ridiculous. So you already getting played.
Right.
So don't feel guilty about it.
Okay, that's the point I was trying to explain. Because again, some people think that, I have to cover this. It's mine. Okay, yeah, but you never know what situation that caused you to get in that place where You couldn't pay it. It could have been a divorce. It could have been a fire. It could have been something. But once that debt is sold off to someone else, that's a done deal. That's it is. And a lot of people don't know this. So what we try to do is we try to tell them. And the thing is, they're like, "You can do that? Yeah, you can do that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you can do it. You can do a lot of things. Like, hey, I'm never gonna if I'm messed up, man, I'm not gonna help you. And I always say this: I'm not gonna help you or a company or whoever. I'm not gonna help you. Help me put myself in a worse situation. It's just like if you come to repo my car.
right,
I need my car to get around. I'm sorry, you ain't getting it.
right. Got it,
You're gonna have to steal it from me,
got it."
you know?
And a lot of people don't know that when the cars are on private property, these people can't come on private property and repossess those cars.
Man, they can't. Hey, I'm gonna tell you, when I was really down and out when it came to cars, because I knew, and it still worked today, and I'm gonna give you this. And I knew they was I know how the repo man was playing. I take a black electrical tape
Right,
and cover and tape all the VIN numbers on the
right,
inside of my door, wherever, and I would cover the VIN number and on the front, because a lot of people was thinking like, oh, they scan my tags, but the repo companies, they got software where they can just,
right,
man, they can drive and it'll hit the VIN number and they'll get a hit.
right,
So all them little games I knew, but I'm tripping because, hey, I'm not, as far as the morality, like, I'm playing for keeps. I'm
right.
playing to win.
There
And I'm
you
gonna play
go.
the same game, yeah, because I done seen it up close and personal. When I say up close and personal, I know I done dealt with the feds. I know how they feel. I know I know they want to take your livelihood from you just because you're trying to find a way to make money. It ain't all about this person is doing this, they committing a crime.
Right.
You know, hey,
Well, you and I know. Tell us about your book, The Dictionary of Credit.
the credit dictionary.
Credit Dictionary. Now, your first, I think, is like 86 pages. Blew me away. The text part blew me
Right.
away. I was like, uh, give the room a synopsis of Credit Dictionary.
Man, the credit dictionary, that's probably the best book I wrote, believe it or not. Let me just say that. And number two, I gave the book the wrong title. My
Okay.
wife always tell me that, man, you need to change the title on that book because people think it's just a dictionary. But it's actually a book where I try to give people a glimpse
Right.
inside of my how I vibrate,
Right. Right.
what my financial vibrations are. You know, how I move in terms of how I move in terms of my day-to-day life, and how can I explain it? Like it's a metaphysical type book.
Right.
Like, I talk about a lot of metaphysics and the power of words, and I think that's the reason why I named it the Credit Dictionary. But the book talks about what I call financial vibrations.
Right. Mm-hmm.
Like I said, how I'm thinking. Like, I knew deliberately, like, I want to live in $1 million neighborhood as opposed to me living in a low income neighborhood. And there's no knock to nobody, but I know how I felt coming home to the hood.
Right.
And I know how I felt coming home through a guard gate, and then I live in a neighborhood with $1 million homes.
Right.
Like, I'm motivated.
Right.
As opposed to me going to one neighborhood and I'm unmotivated. And I'm like, damn, like, this what I'm coming home to. Or just certain people I surrounded myself with. I talked about, like, this is how I talked about different signs that you need to identify to know where you at, as far as your financial vibrations are concerned, like how you thinking.
Right.
The book speaks on that, and then I broke down the whole process of how I came up with the affidavits and how the credit bureaus,
Right.
you know, operate. Like, but that's a great book. Like I even noticed, like on Amazon, the book damn near got 5 stars. Like everybody give it 5 stars, damn near. So
Right.
yeah. So it's a pretty deep book. You know, the one that I hadn't released, Credits for Poor People. It's a pretty deep book. I've been a little lazy with that.
Is it coming out?
Yeah. I was putting the other one out, the Game of Credit.
Right.
I am, and I had a few issues like a couple of weeks ago, so I'm trying to fix that one. So that one's dropping any day now, the Game of Credit, and they're just talking about me, how I hustle credit, like how I'm in LA. I got the merchant machines, I got the CPN numbers, and I'm hitting the merchant machines. I'm doing like 60 grand in a night.
Right.
It's all, you know, I talk about that kind of game, or
Right.
So it's you know, I use Shell Corps to run up a couple of $1 million. Like I just talk about my life in that book, and you know, I give away more game in the book.
What I advise the people is not to just get one book, but to get all of your books, because
Yeah, get all of
each book that you presented exposes a little bit more.
them. Right.
That's what it does. For instance, I just learned something from you in the credit dictionary about when you are writing those letters, write in the account numbers because of
Right.
OCR. And I was like, oh, you know what? Wow, that makes total sense. And I'm like, we're so used to doing it one way, but this, it makes total sense. As you said in the book, is that when they are opening these letters, they're scanning them through a computer. And the optical character recognition that the computer does, it's going to validate or verify whatever. But when you write it by hand, they have to stop, they have to pause, they have to look at the letter. A human person has to look at it, and all of this is creating time for you. And it made total sense. I was like, wow. I mean, again, these small little nuances, small little pieces help you understand the whole game. I have a question though. Do you know where this processes are being done at?
As
The
far
credit
as the dispute,
verification process. Yeah,
the dispute,
yeah. Is it done over?
believe it, yeah, a lot of it's been shifted offshores now.
Okay, got it.
A
Yeah,
lot of it. No, and that's just part of the business. Like it's not just the, you know, if you pay attention, like I say, it's all of the big corporations, like hotels, whatever you get people, you get foreigners, you know.
right,
So credit bureaus is no different. Like they just shifted the operation
right. Got it.
offshores, you know, and the things that could be automated and done by computers, cool. The customer service, okay, we get cheaper labor.
Yeah, cheap
So
labor. Yeah, cheap. Yeah, yeah. Most definitely cheap labor. And it's key. Um, Again, understanding this credit game. A lot of people have gotten burned and gotten caught up in the credit game because they are involved with the game that they don't know the rules. Once you start knowing the rules, you can start maneuvering, as you said, to win. A lot of people don't want, they want to play the game, but they play not to lose.
right,
We play to win. We
right,
play to win, yeah. And that's key.
yeah, you gotta play to win.
Right,
That's what man. That's with anything. And you just said it. Like you gotta play to win.
right,
Whatever you're doing in life, you gotta play to win, no
right,
matter what that is. You know, and if people learn that, they're gonna go a whole hell of a lot further than, you know, just a 9 to 5 or even living a lifestyle that they truly not happy with or they gotta make excuses for, you know.
right,
I always say it could be something as simple as a job. You gotta explain to somebody, if you not explain, but if you're embarrassed about where you work at or your job, it truly means like, man, you're not supposed to be doing that.
right,
You're not even supposed to be doing that. You cheating yourself because you vibrating on a level that's so low that it's hindering you from flying to a financial and happy place that you are supposed to be operating it.
Right.
You blocking yourself, and I always tell people that.
Got it. I have a question in the room, Naima. She asks, are there any credit card companies you shouldn't become delinquent with?
All of them. Yeah. I mean, you shouldn't. If you shouldn't become delinquent with none of them if you're trying to, maximize your credit. Like any of them that you become delinquent with, they're gonna come after their money and they're gonna wreck your credit anyway. So
Right. Okay. Another question, Raul. How does forbearance, school loans, and mortgage affect your credit?
the student loan is gonna affect your credit if they're negative.
Right.
They'll affect your credit in a bad way. If they're on your credit and they're not negative, then it'll affect you in terms of your debt to income. They'll affect you if you're going to purchase a house now. They're going to include that. As far as the forbearance, depending on when you initiated the forbearance, like if you initiated the forbearance and you was never delinquent on your house, then it's just gonna show forbearance and it's gonna show the date of your last payment. Like if it was a year ago and you wasn't late, but if you were late, then it's gonna continue to report late, although it's showing forbearance. So that's gonna hurt you.
Right.
So and what was the other thing? What was it? Student loans,
mortgage,
forbearance,
school loans, forbearance school loans, and mortgage loans.
and mortgage loans.
Right.
The mortgage loans will hurt you if you become delinquent on them. They'll hurt you.
Right.
They'll help you if you can sustain the loan after you get that initial ding when it hits your credit. Like, cause there's a big debt hitting your credit score might drop a little bit depending on the mix that you have. But if you're able to sustain 6 months, like maintain it after about 6 months, you strong. Like you got a mortgage, like you got on-time payments, especially a year you really strong.
Right.
So it'll help you in that way. But anything negative when it comes to any of those, whether it's student loans or the mortgage or the forbearance, being delinquent before you initiate the forbearance, is gonna hurt you.
Right.
But if you wasn't late, you're not late on any of them, then it'll help you in the grand scheme of things. It'll help you.
Okay. So I have a question. What do you think is the optimum credit score? Does a person need the 850?
Hell no. You don't need an 850. If you got anywhere 735 and upwards, you solid.
Got it.
You should be able to, do whatever you need to do. And then I'll say in terms of as far as the real estate game goes, like if you're on the conventional side, where you're trying to do like a jumbo loan, then you want to have like a 740 and above.
Right.
But other than that, you don't need an 850. Like, in all my years of messing around with this credit, I honestly have only I can count on both hands the number of people that I've seen that had above like maybe an 805.
Okay.
It's definitely like an 850. It's like seeing a unicorn with zebra stripes. Right.
Because the game, they set it up so that they don't want you to get an 850.
Yeah. But you don't need you don't need it. It's just like going to school. Like, okay, I can still graduate with a C. I can still graduate if I got a C. I can still get out into this world and do the same thing or do better than somebody I went to school with that made straight A's. Like I told you, I barely graduated high school. Right. But I'm probably doing better than 98% of the people that of my graduating class.
Right.
You know,
Right.
like I'm happy with I'm very happy with what I've been able to do. And school didn't teach me any of it. I had to take a lot of losses. I
Right.
had to take a lot of chances. You know, and school teaches you how to play safe.
Right. Got it. Got it. Got it. Yes. Got it. Got it. Okay. We're going to close out. One question or comment is, what would you like for us in the group to take away from you, Corey Smith? Aside from getting your books.
Aside from getting my books,
Yeah.
take risk and live your life to the fullest. Because you here today and gone tomorrow, literally. And I live my life like that. Take risk and live your life to the fullest. And even in the process of doing all that, pay attention to everything around you. Everything around you. Yeah, I say take that from me, because that's how I live. That's how I was able to accomplish the things that I've been able to accomplish. Even in the midst of me taking risks, I'm patient, I take my risk, I pay attention
Right.
to everything that's going on around me.
Got it. Got it. Got it. So we thank you for the time. We're going to ask, as the group, on a personal note, is, can we bring you back so you can chat with us?
Anytime. And I'll say this now, like anytime you want to have me on, like, I'm open for it.
Got it.
And we could get into more information sharing, like if they got questions, like if they just, because I like to answer questions, like it ain't even got to be me talking, it could just simply be me doing a Q&A, and I'll answer questions. And if you know, and we can give as raw as you want me to be,
right,
I could be there raw.
Got it.
If you want me to provide the information that might scare some people, I could do that too.
Right, uncensored. Yeah, I know. You and I are the same way. We're kind of we're kind of cautious of some of the things we say sometimes, because some people, again, that moral clause. Well, you can't do that. Well, okay, watch me.
Right.
Yeah, that's all. So again, we thank you. I'm going to text you as soon as it's over, because I have a personal favor from you. I'm working on my piece, so I need you to help me with my piece, because I need you to. I will talk about that, but it's good. There's a couple more questions, but they're not. Miss Rucker has one. Well, let's just end off with her question. She says, when your credit score decreases due to collections, how can someone correct the change in the score without paying collection agencies?
Take the collection account off.
Take the collection account off. Okay.
Right. And how?
Your book explains that.
The fastest way to get rid of a collection account, like I said, when you initially engage them, you're going to engage them in a way like, I don't know anything about this account. It's not mine. And don't feel no way about it. Create your letter saying this account is a result of identity theft, or you have no knowledge of it, and attach it to an identity theft affidavit. You don't even have to go and file a police report, and drop it in the mail to them. Okay. Period. Don't never admit to the account. None of that. That's it. That's gonna be your starting point. Once you engage them, then you move on to the credit report, your actual credit report, and you dispute it on your credit report.
A lot of people don't know about the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And I think that everyone should read this so that you can understand the loopholes and the game of how you can do it and get out of this whole mess.
Right. Everyone, I think the problem with that is it's like any other thing that they create is so congested and is written by lawmakers and attorneys, like,
Right.
and it's just so congested that
So you
people
can't understand.
they can't understand it. Like I can read it and okay, I know what this means,
Right.
but
Uh-huh.
you know, that wasn't always the case. And that's the reason why when I present information, I try to be, man, like, damn, like a fifth grader, eighth grader can understand what I'm putting out.
Malcolm said,
Like,
make it plain.
You make it plain.
Plain.
Make it plain. So I think that's the reason why most people probably don't even like the Bible. Like, man, I don't mean, what does this really mean? Like, you know. So, but yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good. Mr. Corey, we thank you so much. You will be hearing from us as a group and me personally. I thank you. I just want to say that because of you, I understand the game a whole lot better.
Right.
Through your material, through your books. I think I came across your material about 3 or 4 years ago, your first 2 books. And when I got them, I read them, I was like, yo, this is it. This is the key. And then you came out with the other 2. And I'm like, all right, you know what? This is what the game is all about. Let's call it the reboot.
Okay.
We're going to reboot all that stuff. We're going to reboot. We're going to start all over. And we're going to learn this game and we're going to master it. But the key that I look at is this. We need the professionals like you to help us understand the verbiage. And as long as we have you with us, helping us out, we can't fail. We can win. Put it this way. I guess you're our credit coach. How's that? And
I'm with
everybody
it.
needs a coach.
I'm with it.
Okay,
Anytime y'all ready to, you know, do this again, man, just let me know.
got it.
I'm here.
Okay, thank you very much, Mr. Curry. Thank you very much. And when you come to New York, make sure you hit me so we can link up.
No, I will, no doubt.
Got it?
No doubt.
And I don't want to take time away from your family, but yeah, we can sit and talk. Cool?
Okay.
All right, thank you, Mr.
No doubt.
Group, stay on the line. Mr. Corey, thank you so much. And you'll be hearing from me in a couple of hours.
Okay.
Thanks, Corey.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, guys. Are we still there?
Yes, we're still here. I just removed Mr. Smith.
Got it. All right, so how was that?
That was great. It's a lot of information. So we got some questions that we didn't get a chance to acknowledge, but it seems that he will be back with us and we'll be able to formulate that later on.
Tashina asked the question about going on a private property and taking a car.
Right. Remember, he was referring to the repo man coming to get your car.
Now, here's the thing. A lot of people don't know this, so they will actually do it. So here's the thing. If you have a car that's supposed to be repossessed and it's on private property, and I'm not talking about New York, but other states, if you shoot that person that's trying to take your car, you are in the rights by law because it's private property. Even though it's supposed to be repossessed, blah, 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 they are not allowed to come on your property. A lot of people don't know these laws. They don't know what's going on. They don't know what's happening. So they let it happen. It's a catch-22 because you know that somebody's coming for it, but it is what it is. So they do it and they take the risk and the chance. It's just like, what do you call them when someone jumps bail? What do you call those guys?
Fugitives?
No, the ones that catch them.
Bounty hunters.
Bounty hunters. Bounty hunters can get in trouble for a lot of things that they're doing, but they weigh the odds. I got somebody. Okay.
I got it.
They weigh the odds of this payout is going to give me $50,000 if I turn this fugitive, and I probably only got to pay $2,000 or $3,000 for fines. So that's what it's all about. Yeah. So he dropped a lot of stuff. I want you guys to understand that I've listened to Corey for a long time. I've heard him speak, and I know that Corey has a way of saying things, and he also has a way of not saying things. And if you read his books and his material, you can get an understanding of what he's truly trying to get a point, trying to get across. So what happens is you can hear what he's not saying, because he was about to touch on a couple of things, but he was holding back. I don't know if it's not us, it's just his personality and who he is. What we want to do is we want to get him on a call where he can like go buck wild and show us stuff that he's not going to show everybody across the board because he doesn't know them. So he's just agreed to that. So that's a good thing. So okay, anybody else want to say something?
No.
No one else wants to say anything?
No, we got about 5 minutes left on this call anyway. But yeah, we're gonna fix that.
Okay.
Yeah, well, I'll say something. I bought the books, but I'm waiting for them to come.
Okay. You're gonna enjoy them. You're actually going to enjoy them. Well, so we got a couple of more minutes. I just wanted to share something. I had a conversation with a very good friend of mine, and what I want to do is I want to say that what we're doing on Sundays is a group and collective effort. It's not about me. It's not about Kwanya. It's not about Wayne. It's about all of us together. So what I want to do is I want to share with you guys the importance of connections. There are 4 people in the room I want to acknowledge. One, Sam. Sam knows me. Sam knows how I roll. He knows how I operate. The connectiveness that happens when you're a righteous person and you're a good person and people respect you. And I want to show that we talk about connections. You don't know the person that you're talking to, how they got connected. So I want you to look at this. Lennox knows Wayne. Wayne knows LaQuanya. I met LaQuanya and Wayne through Lennox. So did I know that I was going to happen? Did I know this was going to happen years ago when I met Lennox? No, I didn't. So I want to show you that somewhere along the line, the associations that you make today, somewhere along the line, that inner circle, that group, people are going to be connected to you as long as you're doing the right thing and as long as you're giving them the correct information and as long as you stay in the game. You got to stay in the game. So that's one of the key things, staying in the game. So I just want to acknowledge you guys for keeping up the good work. I'm not doing this for myself. I'm doing this for us. If I'm great, we all can be great. That's the key. And I also want to acknowledge my lady friend, I'm not going to get into the mushy terms, but she has played an important role on where I am right now, because even when times when I don't want to play the game, she kicks me in my butt and she lets me know who I am. So I just wanted to share that, guys, with you. So that's the key. All right, so anybody else want any last remarks? We got 4 minutes.
This was great. It really went well. So I'm just happy that we got our first guest speaker under our belt, and this is going to be many more great things to come.
You know,
for
actually,
Sunday school.
Kwanya, this is our second.
Who was our first? Don't say you were.
My auntie.
She wasn't on Sunday school though.
No, but we had her. We'll bring her back. But
Okay.
yeah, this is our first official. First official, yes.
But yeah, just to piggyback off of what you said, yes, Stacy, we'll be sending out copies of the recording. Just to piggyback off what you were saying, yes, connectivity is very important in how we all came here, and we are sharing information with our family and friends because we are in it to all gain information and to move ourselves forward, right? And to have the freedom that financial stability brings.
Yes, correct. Correct. All right, anybody else? Closing remarks?
Yeah, actually, I just want to thank you for leading that conversation and also developing that connection to be able to open the door to have him return. Seems like he's a powerful man with a lot of information, and you know, and Kwanya for creating this group, you know, and having it where everyone can add value. It's very important. I don't know what most people did on their Sunday afternoon, but I could say that I sat down with a gentleman, Corey, who's interested in helping not only me, but those people who I care about, basically take advantage of the credit game, which is very important. So I just want to say thank you to everyone. And thank you, Charles, for making that connection and leaving that door open for us. Very powerful. Thank you. Shows your credibility.
This is, you guys haven't seen anything yet. That's all I'm gonna say. You guys haven't seen anything yet. I have two credit master, I'm sorry, I have two tax attorney, well, not attorneys, but two tax people next month that we're gonna bring on. So get your questions ready. Anything you want to know, they're going to share everything. I look for not the over the table information. I look for the under the table information. I want the inside information. I want the information that you're not supposed to share with us. And when I see that information, I can govern myself accordingly and move about in a way that other people are like, how did you do that? Well, it's all legal. You just have to know how it's done and where it's done, and the documents to fill out and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Wait, 1 second. We have a little bit over a minute. I just actually wanted to do like a quick test. If we could like officially end the meeting, but for those of you who are on the call, if we could just stay, I just want to double check to see if the Zoom would have actually closed out or if this is just like an error. So for those of you, the meeting is officially over once Charles and Kwanya ends it. But if you could just keep your Zoom open just so we could just do a slight test, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you.
Kwanya, you can close out. Make sure we have everyone's email. Kwanya, you can close out.
Yes, everyone. So make sure you put your email into the Telegram chat because we're going to be sending the recordings, and that's also a way for us to just get viable information. Yeah, it's a way else to get viable information. But make sure you have your email up, and we're going to be sending a recording for this meeting and future meetings in the Telegram chat. So, but thank you for that, Wayne, because I'm scratching my head. Charles and I did a run earlier this week, and I don't know why we're getting this 40-minute mark. So
got it. So everybody, you know that if you're getting the emails, you don't have to send us your email. Okay. But everyone else who's new, make sure that we get your emails so that you know the good stuff that's happening every single week. Oh, we got one more. Oh, we got one more Sunday.
Yeah, and if you feel uncomfortable, you don't want to place it in the chat, you can just give me your email directly. That's fine.
Yeah. All right. This may not close out. It just might be a something in the settings, so we may not get closed out. I just want to test this here.
Okay. Kwanya, you can stop the recording.
Okay, I did get a 10-minute